Unfortunately, today is not a celebration, it's a protest.
We believe and we are going to demand that President Obama, that the Democratic National Committee, and that the Democratic majorities in the House and Senate stand up for us for a change and say we will not allow Congress to interfere with home rule.
And none of you, nobody out there, no Harry Jackson, no National Organization for Marriage, no Republican, no one who stands against me and stands against you and stands against love will triumph over us.
What really upsets me is less of the fact that we don't necessarily have the rights, but also the seeming glee and happiness that's in the faces of the people who want to take the rights away from us. I mean, I can see people sitting here today behind the scenes.
My partner in crime is Ayanna. She's here to introduce herself. Hold on.
I say everywhere that I speak that this isn't a gay issue, this isn't a straight issue, this isn't a bisexual issue, this is an issue about equality. And if you're equal, can I hear you make some noise? And just like the sign says, love will overcome. So it might not have been yesterday, but damn it, one day, it will be our day. And we'll be out here just as we are now celebrating.
Peter Rosenstein, who's helping to coordinate the fight for marriage equality here in D.C.
Thank you. Well, I think the next step is going to be passing marriage equality in Washington, D.C. Your support here in D.C. is crucial to that, but we have 11 council members and the mayor who's agreed to sign the bill. But what's going to happen in D.C. is that it is illegal at this point, and we believe the courts will uphold us to do a referendum or initiative. The forward-thinking members of our council have said that the rights of a minority should never be put to the vote of the majority. We believe that's what should happen. Councilmember David Catania last week, when Bishop Jackson spoke at the D.C. Council meeting, asked him if he remembered the last time there was a referendum in D.C. on people's civil rights. And Bishop Jackson, who happens to live in Maryland, said he doesn't. And Councilmember Catania reminded him that it was in 1871. In 1871, a referendum was put to the people of whether freed slaves should have the right to vote in D.C. In Georgetown, that referendum lost 671 to 1. In the rest of D.C., it lost 838 to 36. That is the reason that the rights of a minority should never be put to the vote of a majority. We believe that we will succeed in D.C., but as all of you may know, the difference of D.C. is that our legislation then moves to Capitol Hill. And they have 30 legislative days in which to make a statement on that legislation. We believe and we are going to demand that President Obama, that the Democratic National Committee, and that the Democratic majorities in the House and Senate stand up for us for a change and say we will not allow Congress to interfere with home rule. We will not overrule the duly elected officials of Washington, D.C. And we are asking people to tell their congresspeople to stand up and speak out for the GLBT community. It is not enough for the Democratic National Committee to ask for votes in New Jersey and in Virginia. They have to stand up for our right in Washington, D.C. to have home rule and to allow our elected officials to make the decision of what will happen here in Washington, D.C. So I thank you for being here tonight. I thank you for the support of the council. We will succeed in Washington, D.C., and the capital of the United States of America will have marriage equality. Thank you.
All right, let's give a warm welcome to Nick McCoy, who's here from the Human Rights Campaign.
I say what time is it, and what you say our time is now. What time is it? Our time is now. What time is it? Our time is now. Are you outraged by the fact that our brothers and sisters in Maine still not enjoy the same rights and responsibilities of the heterosexual brothers and sisters? Yeah. Are you outraged by the fact that our opponents will propose that put my rights and your rights and the rights of a minority up to a vote for a majority? Yeah. If you are outraged, let me hear you scream, ah! I need you to take that rage and cultivate it and put it into our movement. We are here today at this point in history because of the effort of you, because of the phone banking that you have done, because of the doors that you have knocked on, because of the dollars that you have given. But our fight is not done. I am not discouraged. I am not put back. I am not put off, but I am pissed off. And I'm asking you to be the same way and keep fighting and can struggle on, okay? We don't take the defeat that we received in Maine as a reason to step back. We will not recoil, but we will push forward. Because what we see today are the results of the achievements and mistakes made yesterday. What we see tomorrow are the results of what we do today. And today, in the District of Columbia, in our nation's capital, we stand and we say that love is something that belongs to all people. Marriage doesn't belong to anyone in particular. It belongs to all of us. And we will enjoy the same rights, the same responsibilities as everyone else in the United States of America. Because we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they're endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And none of you, nobody out there, no Harry Jackson, no National Organization for Marriage, no Republican, no one who stands against me and stands against you and stands against love will triumph over us. So I ask you again, if you are mad, if you are outraged, scream with me right now. Ah! I ask you again to take that rage, to cultivate it, do something with it. Walk away from here, not just standing here, but do something with it. Participate in our phone banks. Call someone that you know. Have a conversation in your community about what love means, how it means and what it means to everyone. Nationwide and worldwide, what we do right now will lay the groundwork for equality battles for years to come.
I'm the vice chair of the Washington DC's JCC's Gay and Lesbian Outreach and Engagement Program. One of the reasons why I wanted to become more involved with it was because of some of the experiences that I had growing up. I remember I have a twin brother, and I remember when I first spoke to him, he wasn't very happy about the gay issues. And one of the things that I said to him at the beginning was, do you remember when we were little and we walked down the street? And anti-Semitism is much worse in the UK than it is here in the United States. And I said, do you remember when people used to just shout slurs, racial slurs at you? I said, do you remember when I was at university and someone spat at me? Do you remember the way that that made you feel? And do you remember the way that that made me feel at the time? Today, I really had that feeling once again. I've come from a country where, honestly, you don't really have to fight too much for some of the rights that we're trying to fight for here today. What really upsets me is less of the fact that we don't necessarily have the rights, but also the seeming glee and happiness that's in the faces of the people who want to take the rights away from us. I mean, I can see people sitting here today behind the scenes as well, and it's deeply upsetting, and I don't understand why they're happy that we don't have the rights. It's fair enough to say, okay, we don't want you to have the rights, but there's something that's in it that's really malicious. And for me as a human being, as someone who feels deeply about the respect for every individual, at least take away some of that, take away the hatred, and just look at us as human beings, and look at us as individuals who have rights and responsibilities. If you don't want to give them to us, if you don't like the way that we are, at least don't come to us with hatred. That's really all I wanted to say.
An international message on equality this evening. They're coming from everywhere. They are coming from everywhere.